Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be working on Music Journal Monday. Well, today is Music Journal Monday and we're working on the Music Journal, I should say. So I thought we'll just dive straight in. I've got a few things I just want to keep working, filling the pockets, things to make, things to possibly work on just to finish them off. So I've just marked where we finished last time, which was here. This was the last thing we did, was put this, they did the two corner pockets. But when I was reviewing what we'd done last time, so that was one corner pocket, and this is the other one. This pocket here, I just popped this in. This is a little double journal card. Just it's on a not very thick, I think it's 160, but it doesn't feel very thick paper. And I just thought it wasn't really finished. It didn't feel finished, so I thought we'd go back and finish this first. It felt a bit flimsy. Felt it needed some more work doing to it. So I think the first thing I want to do, and I just have done a little bit of preparation here just to save a bit of time, is I've just cut up a couple of pieces of packaging paper. I think it's probably from Amazon, most of it is, to size, and I thought I'll start off by gluing those in. And I just want to just ink them a little around the edges. Okay, they didn't seem to want to glue in straight, so it's not quite how I had hoped, but they're fine. They're okay to write on. I could put a little bit of something across the top there, couldn't I? Like, for instance, some music washi. How about that? We can always disguise our mistakes, can't we? And I'm just wondering if this is good. It's one of those, it's quite old, so it's tearing, even though it's not very wide. Right, this washi does not want to cooperate, but it's okay, I've got it going. So I thought I might just put a little bit across the top. There. Why not? And another bit across there. Oop. Best if it starts at the end. Didn't want to put it right across because then you'd end up with it being a bit thick in the middle there. Just make sure this goes on straight, otherwise there's not much point in putting it on to cover the fact that the paper isn't straight. Alright, so then I thought, oh, need to trim the washi at the end there. That's where the card goes around the corner. I'll get some, let's have the corner chopped off. Okay, so then I thought, shall we put something inside? So yes, I think we will. I'm just going to stick this on the front here. Because it's just annoying me, so why not? I thought I might just put a little pad inside. Got some papers here ready. Just 3 little pieces to go in the middle there, just to make it a little bit more something worth having inside. And I'm going to just pop over to my sewing machine and sew down the middle. So I will be right back. Right, so I've sewn down it, went a bit off kilter down the middle there. I don't know what happened there, but never mind. So we'll just get the bone folder to close it up again. And then we just need to decorate this a little bit. So I would like to put some lace on this little spine here. Don't know if this is going to work because I prefer to be able to wrap it around. I like to wrap around a spine when I can, but I think this might be too narrow. Can I get it around there? Might just be able to. Is that going to be enough? We'll see. I've got that piece, and then I have gone the other extreme, and I've got this piece which is much wider. And I don't know if that's going to be too wide. Let's just put my pins. I'm always losing my pins when I take them out the lace, and then when I go to put it back in, I can never find it. Right, so there's this piece, which will wrap around very nicely, won't it? Okay, so maybe we'll go with that. And I just wanted something a bit more. I mean, I've got all the music in the background, but I wanted to put something on the front, not just have the flowers. Of course, I've still got a few of these stickers left, so I thought perhaps I'd put one of these on. They're still nice and sticky, so I'm hoping I won't need to add more glue. So I just thought I'd put that right there. There we are. And that just gives it that little finishing touch. So now if I put my lace, I think I will. I think I'll use a wider one just to make sure it, otherwise it looks a bit like I'm being a bit mean. I could almost put the other piece on the other edge, I don't know. It's one of those things you could carry on decorating forevermore. Right. Just to make sure, I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac. How does it need to be? That's about right. Still made it too long. Okay, I'm happy with how that's finished off. I think, yeah. So we just need that to flatten out, but it will in the pocket. It's still a bit wet from the glue, so I'm going to put it up here for now. Let it dry. Let's keep these handy in case I need to do anything else with them. Let's put that over here. Right, next. So we're still going over what we did last time, really, aren't we? So we're over here. Oh, I did back this in the end. I hadn't done, but I did put a piece of backing on that because I thought it was too flimsy. So I often go back and adjust things when I'm not so happy. And the other thing I had to do was trim this right down. It was, when I closed the book, it was sticking out right out here. Still sticks out a little bit, but within acceptable parameters in my mind. But yeah, I had to trim it down quite a lot, which meant, of course, I also had to find a way to reduce this because this was sticking out to the same extent. So I actually cut it off and then glued it back down again. So you can barely see where it joins, but yeah, that's what I had to do with that one. But I'm happy with the way it looks now. And I don't think you'd know unless I told you. Right, so I think this is the next pocket. Yes, this is the next pocket. So this is the triple, because there's space behind here as well. So I have kind of had a thought about what might go in here. So I've got a couple of journal cards ready to go, but they may need a bit of extra something. That's a bit plain, but it has got the violin or viola in the background, sort of as a slightly ghosted, but when you put it in, it's barely visible. Then I've got a piece from the Stamperia pad, which is just beautiful. And again, I think it possibly just needs a little tab to go in here. Oops, to go in the next pocket. So that will go there. And then I've got this also. This is another piece from the Stamperia paper pad, which I think will go nicely at the back. But this needs work. These two have already been sewn around, so they need just a little finishing. So let's work on these now. Let's get them ready to go in the pocket. So if we start with this one, because this bit's going to be sticking out, so I mean I could just put a bit of something down the side, a little ruffle maybe. Oh, I'm wondering about one of these ruffles that I got from Tina. Right, so I wonder about that going on there. Is that too much? It's certainly a good size. Does kind of disguise the the violin a bit. Let me just see how it looks in the pocket. This may not be the right thing, but the colours work. If I put that there, and this was on here, let's just see how it works with the other piece. Where'd I put it? There it is. Okay, that might be okay, like that. Maybe just so that it tucks in a bit. It may be a bit too much in this situation. I mean, it wouldn't be bad on the edge. Maybe I could put it on the edge of a page somewhere. Yeah, I might just keep that handy, but I don't think it's quite right on here. So let's think again. Oh, this is in my way. Let's have a look at the ephemera pieces. This is kind of a long piece. I mean, it's a tag, obviously, but of course we don't have to keep it as a tag, but we could make it a little tuck. Couldn't we? Yes, we could. What could we tuck in there? One of these ladies, maybe. So what if we popped her in there? How would that all go? Lost the pocket now. Let's just put these little pieces to one side. Okay, let's have another look, see how I'm getting through. There's not a lot left, although there's a lot still to do. I know there's a lot to do. I just feel like we've made a certain amount of progress so far. So if I was to put that in there and put her in as well, would that be... Oh, I think we can get that in. Oh, I think we can do it. And then I think we might have a little bit of lace just along the edge. Maybe that narrow pink lace would just be a nice finishing touch. I am quite tempted to put this little banjo, if that's what it is, or ukulele, because she's actually playing something very similar. So that might be too much. It might be too bulky with that on. Just going to round those corners, and I'll ink because it doesn't completely get rid of the white. That's what I'm trying to say. But once I've done that, it disappears. And then I just have to cut round this little top bit. I'm just wondering about inking that a little bit and maybe putting a little something there to disguise it. A little tiny piece of lace. It would have to be very tiny. Or a little tiny piece of sari silk maybe would go quite well. Let's cut this in half because it's a bit wide. I tear it. And we can just pop a little piece on there. Yes, we can. I'm going to staple that and then glue it on, because then it'll look like it's been stapled on, but it hasn't. And I'll put a blob of, where is it gone? Where is it gone? There it is. Little blob of Fabri-Tac. Well, quite a big blob as it turned out, but never mind. Right there. Oh, I've got a little friend in here with me, little buzzy fly. Oh, I dare say he'll buzz off when he's ready. Okay, so I think we've got around the hole in the head issue. So, yep, just now we just need to glue this on as a tuck. perfect size. Like that. It's nice to be able to use the ephemera pieces that came with that other kit. What I have noticed though, that I have got virtually no, just checking I've got the right way around, virtually no tags left. Didn't have many in the first place. I think I've used what I had, and I need one or two taller ones I think, so we may have to make some, if not in this video, and then it'll be in the next. I need some tags. Okay, there we are. So that's on as a little side tuck. She is going to tuck in like that. Oh yes. Now, can I be daring and put this on? And when they're gone, but I'd rather use them up really. Let's put my little bit of lace on first. Oops. Oops. Okay. Right. Back in the journal. This thing's getting really hefty. But I'm really happy with the way it's going, so I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying, it's getting hefty because she's getting full. Full. Right, where are we? There we go. Let's just see how this goes in here and whether the little extra little instrument would go nicely on there, or whether it's possibly too much. Oh no, I think I'd like it on there. Yes, I do. I do. Yeah. Just to make sure, I'm going to add a little bit of glue because it's going to, is it going to tuck under? No, it's going to go just slightly over the lace, I think. Right. Like that. And then, so I'll leave that to dry for a moment. Excited to see how that looks when it goes in. Haven't got anything left, got one guitar left. Okay, so put him aside again, or her. Oh, I guess most people call them she, don't they, the journals? I haven't quite got my head around that yet. It's just a book. But I think when you've worked in it for several weeks, you start to get quite intimate with your journal, don't you? And you start to feel that it's more than just a knit. Okay, so that's that one. Now there's this one. I don't really want to do a lot on here because this just is so delicious. Fabric on the edge, I think. I did find a piece that I liked. Now I've got this piece. It's a bit of William Morris fabric, and I thought it really goes quite well. This is sort of a bit more damasky, but I thought the colour picked that up quite nicely. So I thought maybe a bit of that would be quite nice. Let's see. Don't know which piece I want to use yet. Don't know whether I want to use so much of the white flower, but it's really pretty. I think I've given myself too big a piece now, but I wanted to make sure the blue's on there too. Maybe I'll cut a piece off here. I like that. I'm going to just pop a bit of that on. So let's just make sure I give myself enough to wrap around. It doesn't need to stick out a lot. Come on. Come on, glue. Okay. Love this frayed edge. Just need to get that to lie flat. Barely wide enough, this piece of fabric, but it just sticks out that little bit, and I do think that gives a little finish to that card. Okay, yep, happy with that. And then we've got this card. So first thing I want to do, of course, is my corners in ink. Right, now ink. Okay, inked and rounded. Needs backing because it hasn't got anywhere really suitable to write. It would be pretty hard to write on that. So I need to find some backing paper. Have I got any? It's to hand. Not really. Nothing big enough, I don't think. What's that? No. Okay. Bear with, I'll be right back. Right, so I've just realised that I hadn't turned the camera back on and I moved on a little bit, but luckily you haven't missed anything. I haven't actually done anything more than just move on to the next pocket and put the cards back in that pocket. So we'll just do that bit again and I'll show you. So this card, it is now backed. I'm quite happy with it the way it is. I toyed with the idea of putting a bit of lace on the edge, but I've decided against it. I think it's just enough as it is, and you'll see why when I put them back in the journal. So we have this card going in here. I just think that looks lovely there. And then we have this one. Really love that one. And that's going to pop in, whoop, in here. Just try and keep the sari silk flat. Love that one as well. So this one, I just think it kind of sneaks in behind. It's almost like a hidden pocket, a hidden journal card. Not completely, but it just pops behind there. It doesn't need anything more to announce its presence, I don't think. You can always pull it out just a little bit more, just so you know it's there. But that's it. So those are in there. Love those. I really do. Love how that's turned out. So now we're just moving on to this pocket. And I was just considering what to put in here. I was thinking about making a tag. That's an option because, as I said, I haven't got many. At least I think I said it on camera. I can't remember what I said now while the camera was off. But I'm thinking I might use this envelope that has got its own tag. So it's got the tag inside. These were I made these with Roxy's Weekly Challenge, and it's got the matching tag. Look. So I think that looks rather nice in there. So I think I would like to put this in here. It's nice and tall and it goes really well because this comes from the same pad and everything. All that's needed really is a little closure on the back here, just to keep it neat. So that was what I was working on when I realised you weren't with me. So I picked up this little piece from I don't know which kit it came from. It's just this little piece of ephemera, and I was just backing it onto a doubled over piece of journal book page. My words go amiss sometimes. So I just doubled over this piece of book page and glued it together to make it a bit thicker, because obviously this needs to be strong enough for the flap to tuck into. So let's just cut around this. Right, so then she can pop on the back there, like that. And I think that's quite nice. So I'm just going to glue around the bottom of this little tab. There we are. That should hold that flap down nicely. Oop. in there. Whoop. Lovely. So that is the next pocket filled. Because this has got the journal card, the tag inside, I don't think we want to add anything else because it's quite bulky. I'm really pleased I can get that in there. So let's have a look where we are next. All right, next we have the belly band. Love this belly band. Really pleased with how that's turned out. And I had this masterboard. I can't remember if it was this one. I had one and I made a second one. So I've got another one here that I made probably part of Roxy's Weekly Challenge and didn't do anything with. It's one of these neutral masterboards. We did a few of those at some point. And I suspect this was the one that I had already, and then I made this one, and then I turned this one over and covered it with a variety of different music paper, different colours, different sizes and things, because I thought that would make quite a nice big journal card. So it's a bit too big, but otherwise it's perfect size. It's a bit tall, so I might cut that down and see what we can do with that. I'm just trying to think what to put on this, because it doesn't need a huge amount because it's got all the music on it, but it's going to need some quite tallish embellishment of some sort. See whether we've got anything. I have got no, these aren't going to work. I had a bit of a thought about using some. Yeah, I might use some of the papers. Go back to the original kits, because I could just tear around, particularly from this one. There's some bits that might be quite nice to tear around to add. Have I got anything? Yes, I might have something here. I think that one's too pale. I did wonder about tearing around something like this. Oops. Didn't really need it to be on the thicker paper, but that's what I've got. So I'm not going to print another one off just specially. Although I might end up doing that for another one. Let's tear this off. It's approximate. I didn't really need it to be totally straight because I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to try and tear around it. Around that side. Yeah, steam on here. What about my other ruler? Yeah, I use my tear ruler, that might make more sense. On this edge. No, that didn't work. Quite sure what happened there. Didn't want to tear. Tear this down a bit more. Okay, and I was going to make this a bit shorter, wasn't I? Where's my... Okay. Okay. Right, let's see how that looks on here. Yeah, I quite like how that looks. Do we want to back it with a bit of lace? I think we do. Let me just go and find it. Okay, so I have gone ahead and rounded and inked my corners. I had to trim the card down as well because I'd cut it off a bit, but I need to cut it some more to make it fit. So that's good to go, and it's all inked both sides. Inked around this. I've got my nice topper there. So yeah, I pulled out some lace as well. So I've got a piece of this because that colour goes quite nicely, although I don't think I've used this anywhere else. So it might be a bit veering into spring journal territory, so maybe that's not the best idea. It just goes so well with the flowers in here, but maybe not on this one. Might not be the best solution. So I do have this. I thought this would be quite nice just behind, sort of in the background like this. Yes, I like that. So I'm going to cut a piece of that off, and then I will, I think, sew around this card. I do like them sewn around, especially the big ones. Let's just pull that out a bit. So I'll put that there, and we can pop that there. I think that would be nice. I like that. I can't make it too fat because it's quite a tight fit behind that belly band. So I think that's enough on there. I'm going to go with the Art Glitter Glue. Too high. Got a bit high with that. How are we doing? Yep. So we want to still see the music in the background. That needs to be straight. Straighter. Hang on. I will get my... Sometimes you just need to press it into the blobs of glue. Because I'm going to sew on it, I don't feel it needs too much glue. What I think I will do is use the Fabri-Tac on this piece, and then that shall go through and it'll hold the lace down as well. I didn't want to use too much Fabri-Tac, especially as this lace is very fine. I won't notice because this will be covered up, this edge. Like that. Right, just needs a bit more under here. Okay. Let's just put some, see if I've got word. I could just go at the top here. I have got violin. See if I've got something I can back it, put behind it. It's a bit lost on there. Usually I can find something amongst my vintage viola kit. Nope. Could tuck that behind there, would that work? Do that. No, it's a bit not quite right. Not quite what I want. But I suppose I'll find what I want. No. I used so many of them already. Don't think anything quite works for me amongst these. So I may just have to do a little bit of something else. Cheesecloth maybe. Oh, oops. Pop that there. Where's it gone? Have I gathered it up with all the other bits? I bet I have. Here it is. Just checking. No, too big. Got a little piece of that. Just right there. Now I'm going to cut this. Fray the bottom. And do that. Yeah. I don't know if this is a violin or a viola. It's probably meant to be a viola, but they are pretty well indistinguishable until you put them together and one's bigger than the other. So I think that card looks pretty good. I like that. I'll go away and sew around this, and this will be the last thing we're going to make today. So I'm going to sew around it, come back, and we'll finish off the video. So there it is, all sewn around. I realised as I was sewing this that it might have been better to put this on after I'd sewn, because I would have liked to have had the little bit of fringing just above, just on top of the sewing rather than sewing over it, but it was too late by the time I thought of that. But otherwise, I'm really happy with the card. Now let's just see if it fits in the belly band. There's the belly band there. Pop it in. Something catching, there we go. Perfect, love it. Okay, so that's all we're going to manage to finish today. So thank you very much for joining me again, and I do hope you'll join me again for the next Music Journal Monday. Bye for now.